sincerely apologize for the internet interruption. Looks like today the internet is not in our favor, but we still move. All right, so we were wrapping up. I think Michael I think he has an advice for us. So Michael, could just go with the advice and then we wrap up because it feels like we do not have any questions from our audience. So Michael.
Yes, Burger. Thanks so much for the opportunity. I think just to wrap this up, I just want to advise the young ones coming up that sales is actually a very good, job to go into. And as a salesperson, you need to grow in your role to be able to command the kind of remunerations and also commissions that you expect. Some roles are entry-level roles for salespeople, and some roles are also, experienced roles for salespeople. So in as much as you want to enter into sales, you would want to have the ability to grow as well and to earn much from the role. So it's open to anybody. It's open to everybody as well. There are good roles that are coming up in the banking sector, in the fintechs, in the telecom space. You can start as direct sales and grow up the ladder and also become, an active salesperson. They are also one of the few persons who grew up to become CEOs of companies, multinationals, because every multinational needs someone who can be able to sell their product out there and also generate revenue. So most of the CEOs that are coming up in multinationals are coming up from sales backgrounds. Even in Ghana here, Stanbic Ghana, their CEO is coming from a background of sales. He actually rose through corporate sales to become the CEO of Stanbic Ghana. So it should tell you how much you can earn and also how much you can develop as a person in the role of sales. So this is a piece of advice for everybody who wants to come into sales. Just chin up, just be self-motivated and take it up from the beginning. You surely grow, trust me. All you need is just the first 5 years to grow. You'll be fine. Thanks, Bega. Bega, you can take it from here.
Thank you so much, Michael. So from what Michael just said, sales, you don't need to just be a salesperson. It doesn't feel like you're going to be stagnant in your role. You can grow from a sales position. You go into marketing. You can actually pursue any other career aside sales. But sales is just the basic, right? Okay, so I think we have a question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so my name is Ifwa, and I wanted to ask, what kind of sales job opportunities currently exist in Ghana? Because what we know are insurance salespeople and telecommunications. And then when you're encouraging people to join sales, won't they start from the working under the sun type of thing?
Becca, do you want me to take this?
Yes, Michael, from your experience.
Yes. Ifwa, thanks for the question. There are so many opportunities in sales now. There are sales engineers who are selling solutions, SaaS, that's software as a service. So you are actually under someone to help you out. There are real estate brokers that are entry-level roles for people who want to start sales because you are going to be under someone who mentor you, who train you to become an active salesperson. So there are a lot of opportunities in sales. Pharmaceuticals also have sales reps that are going together with the experienced salespeople, so they can always learn from them and always, come out good. So it doesn't have to be only telecoms and, the fintech space. It has to be all over, but you have to also look at your strength, where you have a lot of interest as well. You can pick it up from there to become a salesperson. And I think the second question was on working in the sun. Yes, not all sales jobs beginning have you to work in the sun. Honestly, you don't have to work in the sun with all the sales jobs because some of them have, teams that you are going to work with. So you work as a team, and there's a car for everybody to use to be able to meet their customers and their market segments and all that. So not all of them. It depends on the company you are joining. If you have to do a direct sale, if you're applying for a direct sale opportunity, then you have to meet your customers one-on-one. If you are doing contractual sales like corporate sales, you don't need to work in the sun. You have to join a team that will take you to wherever you are going to do your sales pitch and also bring in the revenue that you need to bring. So it's actually dependent. It's more subjective to the role you're applying to and what it takes. But direct sales are mostly work in the sun because that's how you start. Not work in the sun because you have to work in the sun. Ideally, we are giving transportation allowances to be able to meet our customers. But you know how we try to keep those monies for ourselves and use it for other things. So we will prefer to work in the sun, do one or two marketing on the way whilst we bring in partners and clients alike. So not all of them are working in the sun, honestly.
Okay, so thank you for that. But I wanted to know, what sales jobs would you recommend a woman apply for, since some of them are very physically exerting? And how much do you think someone should start with if you were applying for a sales job and they added the base salary or commission percentage?
Okay. So there are a lot of jobs in the retail space for the banks. The banks, not bad for a female to start because you are going to do retail banking, more of a personal banking. So you just look for high-end individuals, open accounts for them, let them put money in, let the money stay in the accounts for like a month or two. You get your commission because the banks turn this money around to make money. So they will surely pay your commission for the money staying. That is retention. So for a woman, you can start with a telecom, you can start with the retail job in a bank. That is you joining the retail team as a direct salesperson. You know your market segment because they'll tell you what you'll be doing. They'll tell you, okay, you'll be working with high-end individuals. So you just, in the morning, you wake up, you have your plan, your pipeline, you are going to meet whoever you have to meet as an high-end individual, whoever CEO it is in a company. You go there, you do your prospecting, you try to introduce your bank to them. They also tell you what some of their pain points are in banking. You try to solve it for them. They bring their money to you. So for women, ideally, starting in a bank as a retail banker is good for a direct salesperson. And also the real estate broker is also fine. You can start with the real estate as well. Selling landed properties with companies like Apollonia City and the likes, because they will need people to go out there and sell the lands for them as well. So for a woman, this is kind of the jobs that you can pick up as a startup for yourself. And telecoms as well. It's not bad to actually be in a telecom space for a woman to start, because there are a lot of roles in the telecom space for a woman to even come in. Customer care, marketing, like Bilga said already, direct sales. So telecom has a lot of units that you can work in that has a direct connection to sales as well. So you can always be in the retail space and also be doing sales, because they also pay the commissions to you right after you sign up someone to use their SIM card. So it's as simple as that. And with the salary startup, the average salary in Ghana here is not that much. I'll be honest with you. They are for an entry-level role, for what I know, for an entry-level role, your net salary could be in the region of, let me say, 2,000 Ghana cedi plus, because the gross salary will be around 3,000 something, because you will have to pay your state contributions, your other tier 1, tier 2, and even provident fund and all that. So for an entry level, they don't pay much for an entry level. Like I said, for sales entry level, they don't pay much. And that's why you need to hit your target to earn your commission, because they feel you have to meet your target to earn a commission. You're a revenue generating unit. So you have to, generate revenue for them to pay you a commission. So they don't pay much for an entry level salesperson. But when you grow in the role, trust me, it comes with its own perks. You're going to get a lot of companies coming after you because you have an experience in the field of sales. They actually are going to quote you. Sometimes they quote you in USD, sometimes they quote you in Ghana cedi, but it will be higher margins as well. You'll be looking at 30K a month from salaries. That is the net salary. And commissions will come as and when you meet your target as well. So when you grow in the role, it's quite good for you. You have to grow. In sales, you have to grow. It's important you spend like 6 years in sales before you can earn some of the big bucks that you have to earn. I'll be honest with you. But the entry, you can do 2K startup or even 3K. Looking at the company, if the company is a bank, the banks can pay better. So they can pay you like 2,500, 3,000 for an entry level role. And the telecom space as well, they can pay you much better as well. And the fintechs also, they do well in pay because they don't have much people on the ground. So they try to keep whoever they bring in by giving a person a very good remuneration. Cool?
Okay, thank you very much.
There's another hand up. Is it Kwame?
Yes, we have Kwame. A question from Kwame.
Yes, good morning. I totally agree with what Michael said because I have been in tech sales for about 7 years now. And just like he's saying, it's very important that you build your career up from somewhere. But it's not very easy. I mean, doing tech sales is not a stroll in the park at all.
Yeah.
From my experience, doing tech sales, especially in Ghana, it's not very easy at all because the decision making in Ghana is just some way. It has to go through the IT head, go through a board. They will sit down, talk. And you see, Ghanaians, naturally, we are not very straightforward. So it's very hard for you to actually even draw your pipeline or even forecast. You don't know whether they are going to, the sale is going to come or not.
Yeah.
So all that I'm trying to say is that sales in Ghana is very unpredictable. So me, for instance, I've decided to walk away from sales because there's also another aspect of salespeople being looked down on in most organizations. And it's quite an experience that I have personally experienced when I first started. Especially when you are an entry level, you'll be looked down so many times. I mean, there will be times that you feel like you're not even part of the organization, especially when your numbers are not really doing well and you feel like you're just being condoned in the organization, not being respected. So it's a very tough field. If you are going to go into sales, you need a tough skin. I should be very honest with you. Because I had a tough skin, but unfortunately, my tough skin is gone. So now I don't do tech sales again. I'm moving more into a more technical. I'm moving more into a technical because of my background. I did computer science. So the first job I had after school was a tech sales role. And then there were no such conversations around tech sales. So when I saw this podcast, this space, I thought it's very educative, and I decided to jump on it to also share my knowledge about it. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yes, Kwame, most welcome. Let me address how tough it is. I've been in it for 9 years and I'm getting to a decade in sales. So let me address how difficult it is. Starting is difficult, and the difficulty has to do with the fact that you are inexperienced. So people try to bully you on the field. So what you have to do as a salesman is to carry yourself well, command the respect that you also want by knowing your product, knowing what you sell, what offer, what value you are bringing to the person you are talking to. And the market segment is very key. The market segment you are playing in. If you are playing in an insurance company and you want to always go to market women, you find it difficult to sell to market women in Ghana here. So why don't you go to corporate entities like the fintech entities that are already having a proper salary structure and start to sell insurance to them and let them do the deduction as source? Because then you are actually assured that the deduction is done as source. So these are some of the things. So you need to actually carry yourself in a way that you command your own respect. Nobody will command the respect for you. Even if you are not in sales, nobody will command the respect for you. If you don't actually show the command you want to, gain outside, the respect you want to gain outside. So you need to actually have that on you, and you need to know your products and services very well. You need to actually know the advantages and the disadvantages. You have to do consultative selling more than sales pitching. Already going in there and telling them that they should come and buy this because it can do this and this for them. Some of them, they want you to listen to them and for you to advise them. So you are more an advisory services to them. And that's consultative selling because you are consulting, you are finding a pain point that they are going through and to help them. So these are some of the reasons, some of the ways to go about how difficult is it to start as a salesperson. And healthy pipeline is very key. Healthy pipeline means that if you have a target of 5, you have a healthy pipeline of 15. That is 3 times your pipeline. So if you are in the banking space and they've told you to go and bring in 5 individuals every month, have 15 individuals on your list, be talking to them every day, draw down, know which ones are coming in by forecasting very well that, okay, this man is actually close to coming in, looking at it 80% through, he'll be coming in at the end of the month. So you know this one is bad, this one is done. And all these things will come when you know that the woman or the man is actually completing the account opening forms that you've actually shared with the person. So you have to be able to measure and forecast. And then you can manage your bosses. And as a salesperson, you need to manage your bosses, your line managers. You need to manage them. If you're not able to manage them, you have a very difficult working with any of them. Because you need to always let them be in the decision-making process. You need to always keep them updated on what you're doing and ensure that they are aware of your doings in the day. So it's actually a tough start. It's very challenging, but it's very rewarding because everyone that has been rewarded better after they've grown their sales career have been able to put in an experience from 1 to 6 years. In my current role, when I started, the entry level was not there because they didn't need entry level salesmen. They needed experienced people. So the experience was starting from 6 years, and you need to have a banking and a telecom background. All these count, and I've had a banking background, I have a telecom background as well. So it was easy for me to go into the interview knowing very well that I can actually perform in the interview. Nobody can ask me any question that I don't know because fintech relies on the telecoms to work and the banks. It's like their mothers are the telecoms and the banks. So without the banks and the telecom, there's no fintech. That's the honest truth. So that is it. But now in my same role that I am in now, the experience is 10 years because the company has moved from a startup to a full-scale company. They can't take from 6 years anymore. They have to take from 10 years now. So in 10 years, I don't qualify, but I entered at 6 years. So I'm okay. Next, I'll be 10 years. So I'm actually very much okay in a row. So like I said, I've learned a lot as well. In my current role, I've been here for 3 years, 7 months. And I'm actually enjoying the role. It's very good for me. I make the decisions on my own because I'm a regional manager. I decide the strategy we'll use for the region. So these are some of the things that I wouldn't have done if I was coming in as an entry level because then I don't have any experience to even know strategy. So you have to build. It's actually very good to build. And it's a foundation. You need to have it. Other than that, you can't actually earn the good bucks that you want to earn in the future. So that's just my 1 or 2 things. But the pipeline is very, very critical for a salesman. The pipeline is very critical. Healthy pipeline. Very key for you. Doga, you can take over. Any more questions?
Thank you so much, Michael, for that clarification. That's a good one. And I think we have a question from Philip. I think he raised his hand. Right, Philip, you can go ahead.
Okay, good morning. My name is Philip. So I would like to ask a question. So for an entry level role, let's say I'm coming out of the university and then I studied, let's say, computer science, as Michael said. How would I be able to identify a sales role that matches or requires my skills and what I've learned to school? Because most people feel like if I'm going to sales, then I should study either marketing or business administration. So for people that study other programs, how do we identify sales roles that would align with what we've studied in school and be able to make good use of whatever we do? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Philip, I think it's a very good question. Identifying which field you want to start in. So there are so many of the tech companies in Ghana. There are fintech companies as well. For a computer science person, that means you're actually very good in systems as well. So you can even be able to pick up some entry-level roles in the telecom space, in the banking space, because then you are able to sell, knowing very well that you understand the products you are selling. Because with computer science, everything the tech company, the banking they are doing, it relies on computer to work. Systems, everything has to work. So you even have an upper hand in understanding the system. Because with your background, you are able to sell better, knowing it after a few trainings that you get from the company that you work with. So you can look at the telecom space. The telecom space employ a lot of salespeople because of this direct sales that they do. Even the B2B space in the telecom space employ direct sales people for B2B sales because the B2B teams have direct sales people under them that they need to work with. S&D, that is sales and distribution, also have direct sales people under them that need to work. So you can pick from the B2B space and work under somebody in the B2B space, selling telecom solutions to companies like, the governments, the banks, and, any of them, because you understand the system better as well. So an entry level, you can pick it from there. You can grow from there. Even in the fintech space, you can grow from there. You might not do direct sales from from the fintech space, but they can mentor you to pick up some segments of their market for them. So segments that are not tough, that are easy to work with. So where they launch an app as a fintech, they can let you be on the grounds, introducing people to the app, signing people up to the app and all that. These are some of the entry levels for computer people. So they can be deemed. levels for computer people. So they can be doing market activations at corporate bodies offices like, Leicester Square in Stanbic Heights. You go there, you introduce the app to the passerbys over there. They go in there, try, they sign up and all. Because you understand the app as well. You have knowledge of, systems. You understand how everything works. So with a little push and train, you should be able to start your entry sales roles in those kind of settings and environments. It's very key for you.
Okay, Michael, so I have a question for you. Okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
Can you touch more on the insurance aspect?
To add to what
you have
Michael
a lot
said,
of people.
for somebody with a computer science background, you can also look at a pre-sale engineer. So what a pre-sale engineer actually does is that it's also an aspect of sales, but you don't do the prospecting. You don't do the prospecting. You don't go around looking for the clients. But when the salespeople, yes, and you do the more of the technical presentation, because mostly some of the salespeople might not have the technical knowledge, but they have the zeal and the charisma to actually woo people, to get people on board. So once they are able to attract these clients, you go in with the technical knowledge to answer all the technical questions that they might have, because sometimes when the salesperson does the presentation and they fumble in terms of the technical requirements, it's very unlikely that the client might actually
buy into the product.
Buy into. So if you have somebody who is more knowledgeable in the technical vocabulary and the functionality of the product itself, it also goes a very long way. So I think for a computer science person, you should look into more of a sales engineer or pre-sale engineer. Yes.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that when we started. So you can look into that. Okay. The telecom always have that as a role for entry-level people, pre-sales engineer. They always do that because you have to be able to explain the architecture of the product that they are selling to the IT chiefs and the IT heads of other organizations that we'll be meeting. And in fact, I've always worked with pre-sales engineers ever since I've been a salesman. I don't go in there and talk technical. I go in there and talk commercial. The technical guys will talk technical because mine is to look at the commercial aspects of the deal. Then the technical guys will handle the technical aspects with the IT chiefs. So, Bilga, I think we are run out of time, but you can just put in your question, then we'll take it from there.
All right. Thank you so much, Kwame, for that input as well. Michael, could you please touch a little bit on the insurance industry? Because now we have a lot of openings in the insurance companies, but we have people that are trying to shy away from that sales because they assume insurance sales is going out there convincing people to purchase something, or they have to walk in the sun. Could you just touch a little bit on that and then we wrap up?
Yes, the insurance space is actually one of the toughest space in Ghana because most Ghanaians, actually, if you look at the populace that are on insurance, it's just about 2% of the whole population is on insurance. So that means people don't really understand life insurance. They don't understand occasional policy in insurance. Most of them are just on the vehicle insurance. So I also believe that the insurance team will have to do much in terms of market segmentation. Market segmentation in the sense that if you are going to look at the big companies to sell insurance, you need to look at the markets that you also want to touch base with and sell your insurance products to. And you need to look at the fact that they have the ability to consistently contribute towards the insurance. You see, most Ghanaians are having the informal sector actually drives employment space in Ghana. So most of the data that we have are from the informal sector. It makes it very difficult for the insurance space to actually grow because then they are unable to develop products that will try to get consistency. Consistency in the fact that insurance needs consistency to make it work because you have to be able to pay that particular insurance for about 10 years for it to mature, to be able to even claim or do other stuff with it. So I feel the general atmosphere with Ghanaians has to also contribute towards the insurance space. But for me, what I advise anybody entering into insurance is that you have to segment your market. If you are going to sell insurance, you need to segment where you are going to sell the insurance to because of the fact that the person has to, or the organization has to pay it monthly and not to default. Then it becomes an issue. So paying monthly, ensuring that the organization have the strength to actually pick up the policy is also key for you to be able to meet your target. So you entering into an office with about 15 people who you are going to pitch insurance to on life insurance. You explain everything to them first. You allow them to also bring in their concerns in the insurance piece. You write them down. Then you break the deal. You have to make sure that these people are also able to contribute monthly to the pool, because that's what makes the insurance policy actually active and activated for you to be able to use it to do whatever you have to do. So having the market segmentation is very, very important. Understanding the market segmentation is very important. And the insurance company also, I don't know if they have the products for the informal sector where they can let somebody pick them up in terms of selling to the informal sector, but there should be a product for the informal sector as well. Fire insurance, property insurance, some of these things, you pitch it to the markets, wholesalers, warehouses, ensure that their goods are insured, everything is fine. So there's a fire outbreak, they have, something to fall back on. So the segmentation also falls on the insurance companies as well, to be able to segment the markets that they want to play in and develop products that are suited, because the products are having risk appetite attached to it, and they need to make sure the risk appetite are well within their own means as an insurance company. I think I will leave it here.
Okay, so we have a question from Dr. Sam.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. I'm Sam Kestapingo. So my question is, I was expecting a general question from, was it Kwame? Yes, when Philip asked this question. So when you want to start as an entry level person, the question was directly being seen as computer science entry level, but then I was expecting it to be a general question. So let's say if I studied art therapy or even psychology in school, am I still qualified to go into the entry level position?
I understand your question now. So the entry level is actually open to everyone. In fact, my education background is actually a teacher. I went to UCC. I studied education in geography and economics. So I was supposed to be in the classroom anyway. But I started my career from the bank as a direct salesperson, because when I went, it was an entry level role. It's open to everybody. So far as you have a degree, you can apply. And that's where it starts. And after that, you enter, they train you before you go out there. They explain everything that you're going to do out there to you internally. So you learn on the job. Like I said, you learn a lot, because the product you're going to sell has to be taught well for you to understand. And we are allowed to even ask questions. And when we go out, we don't even go out alone. We go out as a team with our boss leading everything. So if you're finding it difficult even on the field, our boss steps in to explain everything and make sure that it's well understood. And even that one we learn on the job outside. I'm an educationist. I'm actually a teacher, in the sense that my degree is actually an education degree. But I took on a sales job and I pursued my MBA after that. So a sales job, entry-level sales job, is for everyone. They open it up to everyone in Ghana. Trust me. They advertise it every time. Entry level, they ask for no experience. Degree is the only thing that you need, because nobody goes into a company and starts selling the next day. That is the fact. You won't go today and start selling the next day. You go today and you start selling in the next 2 or 3 months, because they need to orient you. They need to put you through orientation, guide you. Even you do sales pitching to them when you actually go in as an employee. So you're not even going to go out even in your first month or 2. You're going to be actually trained well to be able to speak when you go out. So be rest assured, entry-level sales doesn't have to do with anybody. You just have to have a degree in Ghana, because it's an entry level. It's an opportunity for anybody to come in. Cool.
I think some. All right, Michael, I think we are good. We have our next question from Nicholas.
Hi, thank you. So initially you mentioned some sites we can apply for sales jobs, but I didn't really get that part. So could you please help me out with
All right, so
will share that.
Okay, so Nicholas, I mentioned that we have jobs on our website, which is Vacancies in Ghana. Vacancies in Ghana. We also have an app. the Vacancy app, which is on Android and then iOS. So you go to your app store, just look out for Vacancies app, and then you download, you sign on, and you have all those.
Okay, thank you very much. Also, I'd like to ask, how long does it normally take to start seeing a significant earning rate in your sales?
Significant what?
Significant earnings in your personal sales.
Oh, okay. So ideally, as a salesperson, in the first 3 months, you need to be well focused after the first 3 months, because the company can allow the first 3 months for you to learn on the job, be able to understand the product they are going to sell out there. So after 3 months, you actually will be hitting top gear, because then you are well vested in the product they are going to sell outside. So your first 90 days is crucial for you to understand the product, create a pipeline that will show that you're actually going to begin something significant. Then after the next 3 months, you see the growth in it, because a healthy pipeline gives you a healthy commission. A healthy pipeline equally goes to a healthy commission. And there's an 80-20 rule where you look at which customers can give you much of your revenue. You can have about 3 customers giving you 80% of revenue, and the remaining 20% of revenue will be coming from a small segment of them. So those 3 customers who are giving 80% of revenue, you might want to also cross-sell and upsell to them, spend more time, give them new products that are coming up within your company, sell it to them, because they have to also buy more for you to get more money. So you need to sell more to them, because they are actually contributing more to your revenue bucket, and you should never forget them. You actually be very close to them. In fact, some of us have even gone to funerals for some of the partners that we work with. We have actually gone to funerals, gone to parties. They've invited us for parties. Yes, I've actually met a lot of people in Ghana. I've actually met a lot of CEOs in Ghana, because the kind of product I sell, they like it. So every time that they meet me, they set up meetings. And I don't have an office in Ghana. I work from home, so usually I meet them over coffee. I meet them over lunch. We talk. So most of the deals that I even break are outside office settings, because then they are very open to me, even telling me who is competing with me in the deal and what I have to do to win the deal. So sometimes they actually open up to you. That is when you have become very close with them, and they know that they can actually trust you, because sales is about building integrity as well with your partner. Be very honest, be very professional. All this will come, and the results will fall in place. It's like dominoes. It falls in place. Nothing will be out of place for you. A healthy pipeline, hit on whatever you're going to make right from the beginning, you should be fine.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael, for this interesting session. So what I would like to add is that to be able to break into sales, I would advise that we all focus on networking, building your skills, and also reach out to professionals in the field. We attend workshops. And also don't hesitate to seek mentorship, sorry.
All right, Belga, thanks for the opportunity to speak at this forum. And we hope to have more of these discussions, in the future. So you can always rely on us to speak and mentor the young ones. I'll give my email address out. Anybody can reach out to me for any support in the field of sales. Anything that you might need, you can always reach out to me for mentorship as well. So if you're ready, you can just take my email address now. Just for mentorship. I'm not going to give you a job because I don't have a job for you. Just to mentor you.
Okay. Before Michael comes in, So Michael is also part of his own mentorship and then coaching scheme. So you can always reach out to us if you want to have a session with Michael. So you can also follow us on all social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, X, Twitter. And yes, like our posts, share our posts. There are lots of job opportunities out there you can apply to.
Yeah, thanks. So you can reach out to Bilga and Vacancies. You can always reach out to me through them. So we are good to go.